So, blended learning is a combination of learning face-to-face and learning online. And it is more than just implementing technology, but also actually using technology to help teach the students. And it involves three components for students where they are learning through the teacher, they are learning through the internet, and they are learning through collaborative groups. And as I was brainstorming within my content area of music, I realized that blended learning could work really well in some classrooms, like world music, general music, a music technology class, but it's a little more challenging when you are in the performing arts ensembles because those, rather than focusing on teaching to one, as some of the articles suggested, the standards are focusing on a whole group sound and skills. So it could still be done. It just is a little trickier. So going by the 6 models of blended learning by the Dreambox Learning website, the face-to-face driver model looks a lot like differentiated instruction to me, and so does the rotation model kind of. And those I think could be implemented well in certain music classrooms. But the struggle with choir students is typically they are not independent with notation reading. They're notorious for being really bad at theory, so kind of sending them off on their own to practice their singing is not going to work. Additionally, with band students, separating them into groups could work because they can read music very well, but it would be incredibly loud to have band students in various stations working on their instruments with a piece of technology. So provided that you had enough space, that actually would be amazing to give them sectionals. But even in that type of a classroom, the point of band is for students to get used to their instrument rather than a piece of technology talking about their instrument. So it would have to be used sparingly, I think, for a class like that. The flex model and the online lab model actually were my least favorite because I just could not imagine myself ever being in a classroom where I'm seeing my music students looking at computers and not me or an instrument or their peers or something. I feel like it's not very interactive. So I didn't super love those two. The self-blend model would be amazing, the taking classes beyond what's offered. I would love for students who are serious about music, who want to go to college for music, be able to take classes that are like advanced theory, something that's not offered typically in a high school. That would be amazing. The online driver model, it feels like this class that I'm taking. That would be tricky for performing arts as well because well, you can't even get a performing arts degree online because somebody actually needs to see you physically singing and giving you feedback physically. I've tried Skype lessons actually because I teach singing lessons, and while convenient, it definitely has its challenges. So that's not ideal, again, for a performing arts class, but there's like tons of ways to use technology as a teaching tool for students outside of class time. There's just incredible software out there for band students that's incredibly interactive and can give them immediate feedback. They can tailor it to what they need. They can send what they've done to me, and I can assess it and see where they are and know what to teach the next day. Also, just providing them with YouTube tutorials of maybe like fingerings if they don't know their instrument so well or something like that. So it's definitely going to take quite a bit more of brainstorming, I think, for me to really figure out how to do it in my classrooms. I did read quite a bit on the internet about music in blended learning in music classrooms, and some people pointed to the Khan Academy, which I actually had never looked at before, but that one, again, it was not performing arts. It was like music theory, composers, compositions, interviews with professional musicians. But so I'm kind of like, I'm not sure what to do in terms of band or choir, but I'm definitely interested in reading more about it and seeing what I could do.